Welcome to another video where I am going to walk you through paper 2 topics. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a series of 3 videos that is going to focus on all your main topics of what you get in paper 2. So if you are preparing for a paper 2 grade 10 exam, these 3 videos leading onto each other would be very, very good revision. Okay, so what I've done is I've taken all my past exams since I've started teaching, and I've taken some of the questions from each topic, which is data handling, your geometry, analytical geometry, as well as your big papa trig, and I've put all the questions together and I'm going to walk you through it with these videos. Okay, so the first video is on data handling or statistics, and let's start. Okay, question 1. The data below shows the number of laptops sold by 15 sales agents during the last financial year. So again, you didn't have to go and add it up if you wanted to. You could have seen how many numbers they were represented there, but there should be 15. And it says calculate the mean average of laptops sold. Oh, ma'am, it's mean of you to ask me to add all these numbers and to divide with how many there are, which is 15. And if you're going to do that, you'll get 1114, and you're going to divide that by 15. So the average of laptops sold was 74,3 if you round off to the nearest 1 decimal. So remember, if they don't state anything, you round off to the nearest 1 decimal unless stated otherwise. Okay, determine the modal number of laptops sold, the ones that come forth the most. And luckily, it's already in order, so you can clearly see there's 268s, there's 291s, and there's no other number that comes forth more than once. That's right. So our modal number would be 68 and 91. Okay, if there's no mode, please don't say 0. You just say no mode. Determine the median of the number of laptops sold. So again, if you want to make sure where the middle number is, your formula is n plus 1 divided by 2. N is how many numbers there were. So 15 plus 1 divided by 2 gives you 16 divided by 2. So because it's an uneven number, there will be one smack bam in the middle. And it doesn't mean that the median is 8. It's position number 8 will be the middle number. So now I'm going to go count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 over there. Again, if you just wanted to make sure, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. An equal amount on both sides. So the median is 72. Calculate the range is the highest minus the lowest. And 99 minus 43 gives you 56. Okay, now they say to calculate the interquartile range. Okay, so now we need to find our upper parts and our lower part. Okay, our upper set, remember if there's 1 in the middle, shame, you leave him alone. And if there were 2, you would have included it into your upper and your lower part. Okay, you would have split seeded, I always say that. And then now we want to find the middle of the upper part. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 1, 2, 3, again, there will be one smack bam in the middle. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. There we go. So this is your, either we call it your quartile 1, quartile 2, quartile 3, or we can call it your lower quartile, and this is your upper quartile. And this one, quartile 2, can also be referred to as the median. Okay, the inner quartile range is quartile 3 minus quartile 1, which gives you 91 minus 61, 6, 7, 8, 9, which gives you 30. All right, and now they say to you, draw your box and whisker diagram of the data above. Okay, so remember your number line, most of the times we give you a number line, but in this case I didn't. So you'll need to go and put a number line down which ranges between the smallest number to the biggest number. So you can clearly see that we'll have to go from 40 all the way to 100, and you can't skip a few. And then these ones should also be roughly spaced out in the correct, with the correct spaces in between. I know it's not perfect there, but yeah, because otherwise you're not going to see the representation of how your box and whisker is skewed and how the data is represented on the number line. Okay, so please remember, don't go 1, 2, skip a few, 99, 100. Put it up in parts. So if you do it in tens, do it in a ratio of tens or in sections of tens. Okay, so your 5-number summary that you use with your box and whisker is your minimum, your maximum, and then your 3 quartiles. Okay, that is not bad. The minimum is 43, so over here you make a little dot. Quartile 1, which was 61, which will lie somewhere over there. Quartile 2, which is 72, which is your median, will lie somewhere over there, 91. And then the highest number was 99. And then you draw a little box around your middle 3 dotties, and then your 2 little whiskers coming out. Okay, and now if you want nice full marks for this one, please don't forget your headings. Let's do it in green. This is your minimum, which is 41. Your quartile 1 is easier perhaps to say. Quartile 2 is 71. Quartile 3 was 91. Sorry, I see I made a mistake. Quartile 2 is 72, and your maximum is 99. Okay, people as easy as that. Don't try and be rushed and untidy. Make a beautiful box and whisker. You can do it. Okay. All right, let's look at this question 5. So you'll see it's just randomly, it's not in order of anything. It's just how I copied it from the exams previously. Okay, so this question 5, the data below represents the number of pictures that a group of 6 learners posted on Instagram in a post. The data is arranged in ascending order with a maximum of 10 photos posted in a post. Determine the value of X if the median number of the photos is 5. Okay, so the median, can you see, would be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So the median is X and 6. All right, so now if the median is, if I add the 2 and divide by 2, it should give me 5. So X plus 6 is equal to 10. So X is equal to 10 minus 6, which gives you 4. So does it make sense if X is 4 and that one is 6, that the middle of the middle is 5? Yes, it does. If you could have just seen that it should be 5, you didn't have to show your calculation. I just showed you how you would have done it algebraically. Determine the value of X if the mean number of photos is 5. So the mean now is if I add them all together. So again, X can have a different value now. They say to you, determine the value of X now if the mean number of photos is 5. So I can't go and find the X or use the X there. They say to you, determine the value of what X would be now if the mean number of photos is 5. So again, I'm going to add it all. Oh, ma'am, it's mean of you to ask me to add it all and divide with how many there are. There's 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 values, and that gives you an answer of 5. Then if you add them all, X plus 27 divided by 6 will give you 5. Then X plus 27 is equal to 6 times 5, which is 30. So in this scenario, X would be 30 minus 27, which is 3. So can you see that X could have been 3 as well because it was in ascending order? Good. Not so hard. Okay, now they say to you, study the following box and whisker plot representing the speeds of a certain number of cars in a zone with a 60 kilometer speed limit. Okay, so if you see that, so now you need to go and make sure that what each stripey represents. And can you see, to get from 54 to 58, if I just had to take this, the middle there would be 56. All right, so each stripey represents 2 kilometers. Okay, and they say to you that the car zone has an average speed of 60. So over here is 60. So that means everybody here went over the speed limit. Okay, which we know lots of people drive over the speed limit. And they say to you, what percentage of cars were driving above the speed limit? But they're asking you what percentage. Now, remember, the median is the 50th percent, the median is the 50th percentile, if you had to look at it like that. Remember, so 25% drove here, 25% drove here, 25% is represented there, and 25 is represented there. Because if you take 100% and you divide it into 4 parts, you'll get that each part is 25%. So if there's 2 parts above, it means that 50% of the people drove above the speed limit. Okay, if there were 300 cars observed in the study, then how many cars drove at a speed lower than 68 kilometers per hour? Okay, so lower than 68, can you see there? So what percentile is represented here? Can you see it's 25, 25, 25, which makes it 75% that drove lower than 68 kilometers per hour. And they told me that it's 300 people. So 0.75 of 300 gives you 225 people. Okay, calculate the inner quartile range. Let me just clear up here so that I can see what's going on. Okay, so your upper quartile here, your quartile 3, is represented with 68, and your quartile 1 is represented with 56. Okay, so 68 minus 56 gives you 12. Okay, so all you had to do is go read accurately from your box and whisker. I think you guys are so used to drawing a box and whisker, but remember they can also give you a box and whisker and ask you to analyze the data and answer questions accordingly. They say to you, if the mean speed of the cars is 62.3, is the data skewed to the left or to the right? Give a reason for your answer. So the mean speed of cars is 62.3. So roughly over here somewhere. That is your mean. Can you see that your median over here, so the median is smaller than your mean? And can you remember that we did this in class? We wrote a little summary. If those who are being taught by me in my school, if you want to go and revisit it, it's on page 312 in your textbooks. But when the mean is bigger than the median, it means that it is positively skewed. Okay, so positively skewed when the mean, because the mean is bigger than the median. Okay, so it's positively skewed, and thus this means that it is skewed to the right. Another way you could have just checked where it's skewed to the left or skewed to the right. You take the median over here, and then you just say to which side of your block is to which side is your block bigger? To the right, or to the left? And clearly we can see here that it's skewed to the right. So that's skewed to the right. So I'm just trying to give you a full answer here. So you could have just said skew to the right because your mean is bigger than your median. So you can just look at your block and indicate from your median. So you go to the median part over there and you say to which side is your block bigger, to the right or to the left, and it's bigger to the right. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I'll just leave it there for a few seconds. Okay, then number C, study the following graph and then answer the questions that follow. How many learners are there in the class? So let's just first see what's going on. This is a bar graph. It's the learners in grade 10. It's the number of learners here on the side and the number of languages probably that they can speak or something. So they say to you, how many learners are in the class? So you need to go and add here who can speak one language, there's one learner. Those who can speak perhaps two languages, there's 6 learners. Those who can speak 3, there's 5 learners. Those who can speak 4, there's 4 learners. And those who speak 5, there's 2 learners. So if you add them all together, 1 plus 6 plus 5 plus 4 plus 2 gives you 7, 8, 9, 14, 18 students. Right, now they say to you, what percentage of learners can speak 3 or more languages? 3 or more. So it's those students that can speak 3 or more. So can you see if you say 5 plus 4 plus 2 gives you 11 out of 18, and they ask you it as a percentage. So we're going to times it with 100, which gives you 61.1%. Again, if they don't tell you where to round off, you round off to the nearest 1 decimal place. Then they say, calculate the mean number of languages. Show all the working out. Calculate the mean number of languages. Okay, for the people who spoke one language, there was 1 student. For the people who spoke 2 languages, there were 6. So now look what I'm going to do. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. For the people who spoke 3 languages, there were 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. For the people who spoke 4 languages, there's 4. And lastly, for the people who spoke 5 languages, there were 2. Okay, so another way you could have done it, just to shorten that, you could have said 1 times 1 plus 2 times 6 plus 3 times, if I look there, 3 times 5 plus 4 times 4 plus 5 times 2. Does it? Okay, so ma'am, it's mean of you to ask me to add all of them together and to divide with how many there were. There were 18 students in total. So let's quickly have a look what that gives us. So that gives you 54 divided by 18, which gives you 3. So the mean, the average is people who speak 3 languages. Okay. I hope it makes sense. Lots of students struggled with this. I remember in the previous or in that exam where they didn't really understand how to transfer from the bar graph the information onto to calculating the mean. Okay, so I hope that makes sense, that you understand that now. All right, let's move on to another question. This was question 1 from another test. They say the data below shows the time that it took in minutes for 15 fishermen. So again, they gave you 15 fishermen to each catch their first fish at a fishing competition. Okay, and again, it's been given to you in ascending order, so it's fine. And they ask you to determine the mode. So if you just go through there's 2 36s. Okay, so the mode would be 36. The median, again, because there's 15, if you wanted to remind it of how to get the position, 15 plus 1 divided by 2, which gives you position number 8. So it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Just make sure, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the median would be 38. Calculate the range, 98 minus 5, which gives you 93. And then the inner quartile range, again, if you divide the data up into 2 parts, you get 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then the inner quartile range is your upper quartile minus your lower quartile, which gives you 44. Okay, and then they say draw a box and whisker diagram. Again, we're going to have our 5-number summary that's going to help us. The minimum, the maximum, quartile 1, quartile 3, and the median, which can also be referred to as quartile 2. So the minimum is 5, the maximum is 98, the median is 38, The lower quartile is 20 and the upper quartile is 64. So we have to range it from 5 to 98. So I'm going to draw a number line over here, which goes from 0, 10, 20. Please remember to make your spaces equally apart from each other. I'm trying my best without a ruler. Please don't come to the exam without a ruler. Okay, there we go. So your minimum is 5 over here. Quartile 1 is 20. Is 20 over here. Sorry, I just received a phone call on my earphones. Let me rather take my earphones out. 20, quartile 2 is 38 over here. And quartile 3 is 64 over there. And the maximum 98. So again, you're going to draw your boxy over the first 3 or the middle 3 and then your 2 whiskers. And as you can see, it is positively skewed. It's skewed to the right. Hopefully it seems like that. Skewed to the right. And then I'm just going to, minimum here is 5. Maximum is 98. Quartile 1 is 20, quartile 2 is 38, and quartile 3 is 64. Just want to quickly make sure that was 38, yes, 64. And there you go, all your headings nicely present. So normally what I would give your marks for would be your headings, your number line, and then your shape of your box and whisker. Okay, easy peasy. And I think that was the last question. Okay, so really not so hard. Very good to interpret. I think this question, which question was this that we were busy with? This question 5 was a very good question to go over. Remind yourself of when is it positively or negatively skewed if you want to go revisit. The textbook that we are using is the Maths, the Mindborn. It's like a yellow textbook written by MD Phillips and C. Botha. So if you want to go and revisit that page. And yeah, data handling, very easy to get your marks and to up your marks for paper 2. So those who are struggling a lot with geometry, which we know is a harder type topic, as well as trigonometry, then focus on this. Make sure that you've got this down and that you can use this to up your marks. Okay, thank you so much for watching Grade 10s. Lots of love and all the best with paper 2. Hey, bye.